back to Fallout 3. Today we're going to be doing an individual showcase and sort of a walkthrough of the Enclave Commander mod made by Jex. So this is a really good mod. As you can see, I endorse it here. This mod is going to give you a tool that allows you to pull in troops from a few different factions, and you can give them different orders like follow, stand guard, purge the area, and a few other features as well, like you get different types of airstrikes, things like that. I'm going to show you how it works to the best of my knowledge. Now there is like one or two features with this mod that I'm not exactly sure if it's broken or I simply just don't understand how to use them. They're minor and we'll go over those once we get into the game. Alright, here we are in game. When you first start this up and you load your save up with this mod installed, you're going to be given these three devices: the command radio, move markers, and options. So let's go over some of these. So the command radio is what you're going to use to actually command your troops. Move markers is what you're going to use to move markers. And options, this is what you use to set the soldier type and custom positions, which I honestly don't know what this does. So you can also set the command key. If you don't want to use the items hotkey, you could just set a universal hotkey. So you can select soldier type, and when you choose this option, you close your Pip-Boy, you'll get a new menu. This is the menu with the list of factions that you can choose to come in and give you assistance. Now, the NCR is not here by default. It's actually the US Army, but I just modded the NCR over them. So for now, I'm just going to select the Enclave. So after you've used your options to select your soldier type, you can actually choose the command radio. And like I said, you can hotkey this, which is what I'm going to use right now. And when you get this, you'll get some options. Squad commands is what you're going to use to command your troops around once you get them in. Request ground support is what's going to actually call in the troops. And request air support will give you a few variations of different airstrikes, which I will show you in a few. So right now I'm just going to go to request ground support. And then you'll get this icon right here. With this icon is going to choose where the vertibird will land to drop the troops off. You can use the mouse wheel to scroll and increase the distance. So press the interact key once you've found a good location, and then the vertibird will fly in super quick, as you can see right here. Now once this vertibird lands, it's going to open up a new menu, and from this menu you'll be able to choose which type of troops that you want to use. Now you can select up to 5. You can select these troops, and after you selected them, you can either choose fill up with the last selected unit. So if I pick soldier, it's going to and I pick this, it's going to give all soldiers, like from 2 to 5, fill up the rest of the slots with soldiers. If I go to cancel, it will just give me the one soldier that I asked for, and that's it. This is basically, you choose this if you don't want to use the whole 5 soldiers, which I don't. I only want to use 3 for now. I'm going to call in a soldier, an exterminator, and just for the showcase of this video, I'm actually going to use a chimera tank. Now this chimera tank is standalone. To my knowledge, you actually do not need the chimera tank to have this feature in your mod. So I'm going to select this, and I don't want to have 4 and 5 slots. I don't want to have 4 or 5 soldiers. I only want 3. So I'm just going to select cancel. Now I have my 2 Enclave soldiers and a chimera tank. Now that chimera tank is really freaking loud. Okay, so this is endgame. I already beat the broken steel quest, and the Enclave are my enemy. So these guys, obviously, as you can see, are the Enclave. They're labeled as Enclave, but I don't think they're actually part of the Enclave faction, since they will not attack you. So once you got these guys called in, you can use your command radio to select squad commands. Now you can select follow, you can select wait. If you select wait, they will walk around the nearby area like sandboxing. If you select purge this area, they will run around the area and look for any enemies nearby. This is really good for if you're in an interior and there's an enemy nearby and you don't know where they are. You could just select purge the area and they will run up and down the floors of that cell looking for enemies. You can also tell them to go back to base, which they will do, and I'm actually going to do that just to get rid of this Chimera tank. So they'll actually just run away and try to like leave your vision, and if they don't get away in time, they will just disappear. As you can see, this tank is probably not going to get away fast enough. So yeah, after a few seconds like that, they will just disappear. And you can call in troops from multiple factions to work together. So for example, I will call in some Enclave soldiers, and after that I'm going to call in some Brotherhood soldiers as well as some Enclave soldiers. I'm going to call in the Brotherhood, Enclave, and the outcasts to work together. So I have my Enclave here. Now what I want to do is I want to go back into options and select soldier type, or set soldier type. Then I want to select the Brotherhood of Steel. Now I'll call them in again, request ground support, select where you want the vertebrate to land, and then now I'm going to get some Brotherhood soldiers. Okay, so now you can see I have Enclave troops, I have Brotherhood of Steel troops, and I have Brotherhood Outcast troops, and they all work together. Excuse me. So if you want to have more than 5 troops, you actually can do that. You just can only call in 5 at a time. So what I did was I just called in 2 of each faction. So now I have 6 followers. You will get a notification popping up to the top left every once in a while saying that you have too many followers, but they work just fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the markers. So what you do is you select move markers, then you're going to have this menu pop up. From here, you can select which type of colors you want. You can place all of these out at a time. You can have all of them out at a time. So right now I'm just going to select the red for now, and then I'm going to close my Pip-Boy, and then now I have the flag right here. And you use your mouse wheel, scroll it up and down to choose how far you want it, the distance, and then put it in a good position. You can have it clip through the floor a little bit if you want, and then hit the interact key, and there you go. Now my red flag marker is there. I'm gonna do it one more time with the blue marker. I'm gonna take the blue marker and I'm gonna place it right there. Now these are good for like setting home bases. If you want them to go to a certain area, if you want them to stop following you and you want to meet them up at a certain area, you could send them to these flags. So you just go to squad commands, and then you can go to move to marker, and then select which marker you want them to move to. So I'll select red marker, and then now all my troops will move to the red marker. Then I could do it again. Squad commands, move to marker, move to the blue marker. Now they'll move to the blue marker. So that's how the markers work. Now there is a prisoner marker. I'm not exactly sure where it is. Yeah, move prison marker to here. So you could actually move the prison marker to here. Prison marker will be green, so don't get it confused. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this does. There is an option to take prisoners. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this does. It probably takes hostile NPCs and just moves them to this marker and has them just sitting on their knees in a prisoner position. So the last thing that I will go over is the air support. So use your squad command radio, and you can request air support. Now when you do this, you'll get a few different choices that you want to pick. You can choose, I'll show you some of them. So the airstrike, this will unleash a barrage of bullets and then end it with like 2 big bombs. So, you know, select where you want the vertibird to attack, and then the vertibird will fly in and attack that marker. With some minigun bullets, and then 2 bombs. Now you can do a cloud carpet run, which is, I think this one looks really nice, but I feel like the damage is really low, or it's like really inaccurate. So you call this vertibird in, and it's going to sweep across the floor with like some explosives. Check this out. Just a nice cloud carpet run. Now you can do the missile one, which is pretty much the same as like the airstrike one, but it's just a whole bunch of missiles, so I'm not really going to show that one. And I'll show you the orbital strike. So the orbital strike is kind of like, you know, it's really dramatic. They just drop some missiles out the air. It's really quick, but it does a lot of damage. And after it's done, it will leave some rubble on the ground like this, but it doesn't have collision, and it will disappear after a few seconds, as you can see. If you select a command to take prisoners, they will try to look. They dropped this raider down and put a collar over his neck.
Stand the side of your own blood.
Yeah, look at that. Alright, we're taking prisoners. Look at that. Okay, so after I got these guys down in their prisoner collars, I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do. I tried clicking on the soldier,
Yes.
and then clicking on the prisoner, but then he just killed them. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Okay, so once you have a prisoner here, you go up to them, you press G, and then you press it again, and then now you can choose if you want to execute them, transport them to prisoner marker, or confiscate their belongings. You could also release them if you want. So I'm going to put transport to prisoner marker. And I guess he's just going to go to the marker. So yeah, let me take a few of these prisoners. Actually, let's see what the execute looks like. Alright, pop goes the head. Sometimes the prisoners can bug out and become hostile again. And as you can see right here, she's kind of like invincible. But the author says that whenever prisoners bug out, they should go back to normal after a little while. I tried shooting her. I've tried using console commands to kill her. She will not die. She is just invincible. Okay, so after telling my prisoners to come to the prisoner marker, they are not here. I have no idea where these guys are. Maybe they're on the vertibird. I'll try to call it in. Okay, so I have no idea where those prisoners went. Yeah, like I said, in my experience, I don't think it's good to just use the prisoner option. But as far as like just calling in troops as temporary followers and having home markers to send them to when you don't want to, you know, have them following you around anymore, I think is pretty nice. I think the prisoner feature looked like it was doing something, but just at the end of the day, I can't really see like any true, benefit to really taking prisoners. It's not like there's a bounty hunter collecting bounties if you bring prisoners to them. That would have been a nice feature. But anyway, I think outside of the whole prisoner thing, I think this mod is really good, and it looks like a lot of work went into it. So I'm gonna leave the link for this mod in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.